Beautiful day. To have a beautiful day. GM.
Pretty good at this.
On this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Road Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM. Road Radio.
Yo. What up? Good morning, GM. Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. Look at that. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. The sun is shining in Montreal, Canada. And I got my co-host in the house, both on YouTube stream and on Twitter Spaces. OSF, Mando, good morning. How y'all doing?
Hello, guys.
Dude, you're sounding great. Yo, Obi's really feeling himself on video. I'm not gonna lie.
He really is.
He
was actually on Bloomberg TV today. He's a bit of a TV star.
He was on. Wait, hold on.
No, it ended up being a podcast actually.
Face for radio.
I saw you on TV today. I was scrolling through my timeline and I saw a video of you on this podcast. Like, damn, you're like, wow. LSF is starting to become quite the celebrity. If you're on the YouTube live, give me some GMs in the chat. You know what? Even if you're on Twitter Spaces, I know we GM'd already this morning. Bottom right, you know what to do. Hit me with some GMs. Okay, I think the boys also want to get some GMs. In the meantime, I'm also going to share the YouTube link, but it's out there. Rug Video YouTube, you know the vibes. We do this every morning now, Monday to Friday, 10:30 to 12. We go live on YouTube and on Twitter Spaces at the same time. The YT is mostly to, share stuff on the screen and where we have fun. It makes it more of a hangout per Ovi. For Ovi to say that he really enjoys it, I'm glad. I'm glad that OSF is enjoying the show, Mando. He did send us some flowers this morning. It meant a lot coming from him, Like, it means a lot when Ovi says, wow, like, this show on video is really cool. Yeah, thank you.
He just cares about production. That's the thing. Production, audio, video. When that's working, he's just, like, super happy.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? I like that.
You can look at that room, and you can just see this man, like, Reek's style. Look at it.
I mean, look at him. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's
the lonely lamp, just one skateboard, and a TV with
the bottom left, like on your right hand side. Is that like a bunch of plugs in the wall, or is that like,
more plugs, more?
Yeah, they're just plugs, sockets.
5 holes for plugs.
Yeah, and 2 on the other side, just in case.
2 of them are like
on the other side.
Yeah, that's
of course. Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So you have 8 rooms for plugs.
8 plugs for the room.
8 plugs.
8, yeah, I see your question.
They're
not all power plugs. Like
okay,
2 of them are like broadband, like cable.
Oh, okay.
I have that this side too. It's a game changer, by the way. I connected to my router with the Ethernet cable rather than Wi-Fi, and it really sped up my internet. Would recommend it for Mando, although I don't think they have Ethernet connectors there, so I don't know.
Actually, I just don't understand what's happening with like my setup. I have the nice mic, I have the Rodecaster, I have the new wires, and then it just goes. I think it's something to do with the voltage. That's what I've decided. But I don't even have that higher voltage.
That's what you've decided.
I just think it must be the Portuguese power system. Just can't deal with it.
Yeah, you know what? It just can't deal with the heat that comes out of this show every single day. I mean, it is quite a banger of a show. Speaking of banger show, we should get to it because we have a lot to talk about this morning. The space is popping. Some things are slow, market-wise, but, the space is popping. Like, there's a lot happening. So today on the show, today, DJ's market report, as usual, crypto. We're trying not to bore you guys too much with macro today and NFT.
Today's a macro day, to be fair.
There's no macros today because there's a lot of NFTs in Web3 today. Camilla, she kills me every day.
We want to talk about the Fed more.
More Fed, more banks, more charts, more. Oh my God, more everything. But anyways, and by the way, shout out to everybody giving us the GMs in the chat. Paul Moon, Prestige, Idol, Dave, Fares, Killerich, Brian, Camilla, Mark, Ever, J6, Freed Seed, Non-Fungible Conference in the room. Let's go. We're going to chat with them later today. So speaking of which, DJ's market report, as usual, TwelveFold, the Yuga Labs ordinals ended up getting $16.5 million, 2.25 Bitcoin. And Ovi was out there.
We were so wrong.
You
wrong.
so wrong. Yeah.
No, I was like,
This
I
is
was
0.25.
0.5.
I mean, Ovi was
a factor of 10.
Yeah, Ovi rarely missed the mark here, and he missed it by a lot.
He wasn't listening though. He just wasn't. You could tell he got to him last. Like the smart person would have gone in between me and you for Ovi. He went well below.
That's exactly what I was trying to do.
That's why I knew he wasn't listening.
I'd only heard one of your guys' numbers.
Yeah. If he'd been listening even slightly, he would have gone in between both of us.
Yeah,
that's exactly why I took time to say it, because I was like, shit, what was the other?
I mean, when you think about it, even my guess of one Bitcoin is way off. Like we're two and a half almost times higher than that. So that was pretty impressive. Then Claire Silver at the Louvre. Ooh, I love that. I love to hear that at the Louvre. Wow, incredible. Claire. Oh, wow. What a chat. Love Claire Silver. Quick chat with Kieran Warwick, co-founder and CEO of Illuvium. You already know who that is. We had him as a special guest a few weeks ago, or months ago. I forgot. But their game is launching today. So, we figured why not toss him an invite, come speak about it for 10, 15 minutes, because Kieran's dope. He's a friend of the show, and figured we'd have him on. What they're building is fire. Wait, hold on. Or should I say...
It's fire.
And and then last but not least, more guests today on the show. Cannot wait to be joined by Arthur, by John Karp, come on, the homie, and by Greta, who are just all going to come talk about a partnership with NFC Lisbon and Rug Radio. It went live yesterday. I'm going to pin it at the top, but I cannot wait for that. Lisbon's going to be big. It's going to be fun. So they're going to come and talk about this. But as usual, our show is sponsored by Fair.xyz. Actually, they're going to come tomorrow morning for a quick segment also to talk about their drop that's happening right now. It's pinned at the top, the Mint for Change, with which you can check it right there. Basically, it's a drop that has 40 plus female artists and allies collaborating for International Women's Day. The art is sick. It's beautiful. I went through it yesterday. There was the allow list that opened yesterday, and I'm pretty sure the Mint starts today, and they're going to come and talk about it as well tomorrow morning. I can't wait. It's art from like Alison Harvard. I'm going to try and read different names this morning. There's Ashley Decat in there, Bobby Kai, obviously Camilla, Crispy Coco, Crown and Palette, Crystal Petit, Remy Al-Khatoubi, Serena, Tukes. Tukes is art sick. Actually, I was looking at it the other day. And Wild Alps. I tried to read different names this morning because it's tough to read all 40, but it is super, super cool, and definitely invite you all to check it out. And they use, of course, their newest tool, Conditions to Buy, to set up the drop. I'm pretty sure the giveaway is still going on. So if you set up your drop with them by the end of the next, I think, 2-3 weeks, so I have a chance to win 5 Rug Radio PFPs. And the allow list is today. Sorry, Jack. There you go. And the public mint is tomorrow. So the mint for the allow list, if you joined it yesterday, mint today. Don't forget, it's beautiful art. Obviously, you're buying this for the art. And then the public is tomorrow. But anyways, with that, let's get right into it.
Daily Market Report. Brought to you by Rug Radio. Joseph, what's the word?
Hey guys, so traditional markets having kind of like a soft start. We're down about 0.5% on both the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. We had a good day on Friday. We actually had a decent day yesterday, and we did start the day a little bit higher, but we're selling off a little bit now. Interest rates have actually been pretty volatile in the last few days. We had a big squeeze on Friday. We've sold off a little bit today. We're back out to 3.97% on 10-year. I think Powell is speaking at something today, which is not like an official FOMC thing or official Fed thing.
Speaking at Congress, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's speaking at Congress. That's right. And so there is potential for him to say something or something to come out of that.
I think it already happened there, right?
It happened. Okay.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, he basically came out and said, he said that rates are probably going to go higher than expected, and he might have to raise them quicker than expected. But then, other than that, he was a little bit dovish, apparently. I don't really know how you go from that to dovish because I didn't listen to the whole speech, but
yeah,
the first half of the speech was hawkish and the second half seemed to be a little bit dovish. And I don't know, stuff was definitely down more before he spoke. Yeah. It's one of these ones where I don't know if you saw that, OSF. I guess you were at Bloomberg, but just a bunch of different people on my timeline were like, "Oh, we're about to have the speech. Get ready for everything to sell off massively."
Yeah, it's a non.
And then it was like, well, if everyone's saying that, then it probably will dip slightly, and then you're just meant to buy that dip, even if he's super, super hawkish. And I think that's what happened. I don't think it was necessarily that.
What the headline reads here 12 minutes ago on CNN Business is stocks sink after Powell warns of higher rates. Stocks tumbled after Fed Chair Jerome Powell warned interest rates could remain elevated. The Dow fell 0.30%. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ composite slid 0.6% and 0.59%.
You gotta with these
it was
things,
down more before he spoke. Basically.
Yeah. With these things, you gotta really pay attention to the language here, and I think this is the problem I have with like CNBC and
of course
Bloomberg and all these guys, because like the headline is like Powell says interest rates are likely to be higher, and then the text says Powell says interest rates will remain elevated, and they're two different things, right? If he comes out and says, I think interest rates are we need to make interest rates higher, and because remember the Fed is almost at its terminal rate right now, so if he comes and says we think the terminal rate needs to be higher, that's really bad. Like markets will sell off. If he just says interest rates will remain elevated, well, yeah, no shit. Like we all know that. Like they've been pretty clear that they're going to keep interest rates elevated until inflation comes lower to their target level. So that's not really new news. So I think people just have to be very careful about the specifics of the language, and that's why when you read these articles, it's not like I have to listen to what he actually said himself rather than how these articles phrase it, because I think they often mislead it. But in any case, like I think, look, you have the FOMC on the 22nd of March, and that's when you get like a full, like proper rundown from the Fed. So like these things where he's speaking at this and speaking at that, and he says something or says something else, they get scrutinized and analyzed too much, and he's not usually intending to like give any information away at these things. And we saw that last year the other way around when he spoke at some conference, and everyone was like, oh wow, like the Fed's going to pivot and reduce rates. Like he was really dovish, and then the FOMC came and he was just like max hawkish. So I think you just have to wait until the FOMC to get like what really is exactly the stuff they're thinking about, rather than trying to second guess from these comments and stuff here. But I think Michael's right. Like I think we actually had a bigger move lower, and we've actually rallied after that. Crypto was the same. Like we had a big red candle, but I think we've bounced back. Like we're at 1560 on ETH, we're at 22.3k on Bitcoin. One thing that's gone a bit destroyed actually is Blur. Blur's all the way back down to like 65 cents now, which is basically where it was on the first. Yeah, basically where it was on the first day that it dropped.
Check out this wick.
Yeah.
Yo, look how crazy this thing is. Hold on, I've never seen something like that. Look at it.
What's that down to? What level?
I mean, I think you just zoomed in a lot. Like that's not that big a wick.
No, it's not that big a wick. I'm saying, look at the what's it called?
Yeah,
that's a wick. Yeah, you're talking about.
Look, it's hilarious.
It is funny. It is funny, but you always get that around these sort of times.
It's crazy, right? It just talks to what you guys are talking about right now. Like it's actually wild.
I actually thought we were a little bit risky going into this because it felt like we'd been underperforming stocks for the last few days. So that if stocks sold off massively, we get hurt. But it feels as though crypto is just fading whatever macro is doing, right? No.
It's like you've got like a fireplace. Actually, it's quite nice. It's quite cozy.
Nice. It's
a nice little warm crackling of like the charcoal in the fireplace.
Yeah, maybe it's to warm and keep his lobes warm.
Keep them, protect the lobes at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting idle alchemist here. DXY responded bullish. Someone says, who's Michael? It's true. I don't like it when you call him Michael on the show. It's really confusing. And then
I've never called Michael Mando. Just
his name on my phone is Michael Mando. It's pretty funny, but there's no last name. It doesn't exist. I mean, you're OVOSF. Actually, OVNU now. But here, Walter Bloomberg's Royal Delta One on Twitter is Powell. Core inflation has not come down as fast as we hoped. Has a long way to go. And then Powell also, Congress needs to raise the debt ceiling. Whatever that means. That's you guys' language. So I guess we wait now.
Friday we get payrolls. I think that's going to be the big one. A bit more meaningful. The consensus looks like it's around 200k versus 517k last month. So Until then, I think we wait. But I think like I'm not like short term, I'm not like bullish, and I'm not even really bearish, but I think I'm cautious. I think is the right way to put it. Like I think there is some downside from where we are now if numbers come the wrong way, or if the Fed communicates something that we don't want to hear. And then I think that's a good entry point. So it's one of those things where like everyone like wants to trade all the time. I just feel like not doing anything right now is the best move until we get some more clarity. But yeah, there's like
I think macro's is it still bad or is it all right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's still not great.
Yeah.
I think macro is not in a great spot. When you look at those stocks, housing, credit card debt, like all that stuff, if they're going to start raising rates more than expected, those are bubbles which could get pretty bad. But I think crypto is going to keep on outperforming. Let's put it that way. I just think it's going to be in an okay spot. But it's very difficult to see a scenario where ETH goes to like 2.5K here in the next couple of months or 3 months or 4 months. Like I think this is a whatever rally we have will be range bound because of how bad macro I think could be.
All right. Well, I guess we will see where that takes us. But you already know that we'd be grateful for that 2.5K. I'm not gonna say no if the gods won't give it to us. But anyways, let's talk about our favorite thing. Let's talk about NFTs.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
Yeah, GM everyone. So it's been a quieter period actually in NFTs. Volumes have come down pretty sizably over the course of the last week and a half. A lot of the volumes that we saw initially from the pump from Blur have kind of dissipated. I think they're probably down about 10 to 15%. But we're also, it's not been a great trend, I would say, for volumes. And I think this is heavily tied to what Ovi just said then. It's the drop in Blur has probably meant that the value for the airdrop farming has gone down quite a lot. And so you're seeing less noise in the data, I would say, less noise in terms of people just trading stuff for the token. And in some ways that makes it easier to see what's going on. But look, other deeds has been the most active. The Coda floor in particular is up a lot. The Coda floor is nearly reaching about 20 ETH at the moment. So definitely feels like money flowing into that bit of the ecosystem. There's a lot of volumes all the time in other deeds. If you're looking to perhaps take the least risk while trying to farm the most Blur, something like 100K collection is always going to be good. So I think we've seen a lot of volume in the other deeds because of that. And but on the back of that, we're also seeing the price of Codas has gone from, they were trading below 10 at one stage,
really,
to now nearly 20. So it's been a decent move there. And yeah, so that's been decent. The other two major things have been the two new mints. One was Mochaverse, which is by Animoca. It's their profile picture. It was a free mint, though I think you had to own like a mint pass at like $33 or $35 or something like that beforehand. Or it was like a raffle. Anyway, that's gone from 0 to just shy of 2 ETH. That was well hyped going into this. And the other one was Momoguru, which is the mint that we spoke about, which was backed by a company which is backed by Disney. Was very well hyped going into it. And both seem to have gone kind of opposite. I mean, that one had revealed, and I don't think people particularly vibed with the art. But
I don't think it did that bad, right? I mean, this is not looking bad to me, like the price-wise. I don't have any, but
I think people were expecting this to do what the Mochaverse just did.
Oh.
This was the sort of mint where you had to do some unspeakable things to get onto the allow list.
Unspeakable things, you say?
Unspeakable things.
Does it involve earlobes?
And it initially went up and did a 3x of mint, but then has gone right back down to around mint price. I think mint price was like 0.25-ish So it's just barely trading above mint now. So definitely a dip in that. The team is pretty stacked when you go behind it, but it's Web 2. It's definitely Web 2. It's a 9-time Grammy Award-winning animation studio, which is backed by Disney and has had a bunch of different wins with that, putting on their products onto like Disney Plus and a bunch of other platforms. And they're now building out this IP. And the Mochaverse is the Animoca backed project, which has yet to reveal, but very, very strong performance. Obviously, we're huge fans of Yatsu. He probably one of the smartest people, I think, in the space.
He is pretty smart.
He was insane when he came on this show.
We need a follow-up show because, dude, it's just crazy. I'm liking it. Do I see some like design changes here?
We spaced it out slightly, but I think we're going to return it back.
No.
I like the spacing. I like the tight spacing.
No. Don't return it back. This is what it should be. Please don't return it back. I was gonna say. I was
like you probably want like one metric per page, right?
Dude, I want this to be able to be readable, especially on screen, right? And we have people on there, and so this is great. I like.
You can actually, I think they've made it as well so that you can like change the layout, so you can like drag the left-hand column more over and stuff.
Okay, I like this. Okay,
so, like,
I like this a lot.
And that goes up down as well if you wanted to do that.
This
anyway,
is awesome.
It's a bit more widget-like now for people who kind of like playing around with it.
There you go.
Anyway, those have been two interesting stories. Like both of them are well hyped. Both of them have gone kind of opposite directions. There's been a lot of like Web 2 versus Web 3 comments about how Animoca have got a better chance of this being successful than like a Disney-backed potentially IP. But yeah, interesting. It's just interesting to see that play out. I personally thought Momoguru was going to be one of those ones that went up to like 2 ETH. I don't own any, wasn't involved. We did do a report on it, but you see this every so often, like really hype mints. They normally go to around 2 ETH and then they lose steam and then they kind of migrate back down below 1 ETH and you kind of see where they end up. That's generally how things happen. And then hopefully down the line, they hit on what they need to hit on. But that didn't really happen. It kind of went 3x and then just dropped. And then Mochaverse is kind of doing what you would expect. So kind of up to around 2 ETH. And we'll see how that one develops like post-reveal.
Yeah.
But that's been the focus. Other than that, it's mainly been the main collections. Bored Ape still hanging out around 72. Interestingly, CryptoPunks are, this might seem like a small move, but they're making one of the biggest moves that they've made in about 9 months. They've gone from 62 to 67 in a pretty quick period. Because
of the blur, that blur liquidity that unlocked for the wrapped CryptoPunks that you can now sell on the wrapped punks contract. Now you can is on blur, so you can sell your punks on there.
Yeah, so that's basically it. Punks OTC, which is the main liquidity provider. He is the Franklin of punks.
Punks OTC walked, so Franklin
or maybe Franklin is the Punks OTC of apes. Let's put it that way.
Let's put it that way.
He moved on to Blur. I think I saw something like 50% of all trades happening right now on Blur for CryptoPunks involve Punks OTC. So it's basically just him moving all of his business, or them. I think it's actually a collection of people moving their business onto Blur, and that's caused the price to go higher because obviously people are now getting involved in the listing rewards, and I think that's taken over a decent amount of the volumes as well. So
there's some sweet punks out there, bro. I saw Ovi, you bought a second Fidenza yesterday, but
I did.
Congrats, by the way, that both of them are sick. But they're really like there's some I like this punk a lot here. That's my first punk. It's funny to see those. Some nice punks out here on the floor.
You don't normally see that much action on the CryptoPunks floor. No. That's just generally not where the trades happen. It normally happens within Grails or aesthetic ones. This is the first time you've kind of seen the floor move.
In a while. It used to be, that floor used to move. Like, that used to move. Like, that was the floor that would move, that would dictate the whole space moving. Like, 2 years ago.
It just got very.
True, but I still think punks have always had that idea that the rares they just trade more frequently than other collections because people see them as like the grails that you kind of own forever, and they really like aesthetic ones, and the rarity structure is slightly different. But yeah, this is interesting because you're suddenly seeing a huge amount of volume happening at the floor, and maybe this continues. Maybe that I think Punk 959 was saying yesterday. Look, punks is one of the best things to farm because it's so stable. It's so unbelievably stable. It's kind of like Bored Apes. They're really good to farm until you have like a big seller. But punks are very good to farm because they don't really move. And you can sit there being the bid and the offer like Punks OTC is right now and probably do it in decent size.
Yeah.
Punks OTC regularly bids over 1,000 ETH for punks, right? They've got a lot of liquidity. So decent to see. Interesting, you did see like that big Bored Ape sale though yesterday. There was a trippy crown we traded at 440 ETH. Pretty good looking ape, I would say. But other than that, it does seem still quiet. We've seen some pretty cool headlines about Claire Silver going to the Louvre, and obviously the focus yesterday was on the Yuga Ordinals mint, which was crazy, right? 16.5 million for a bear market mint is going to be one of the biggest mints that we've seen during a bear market. I'm trying to think during past bear markets if we've seen anything close to it. I think Doodles was a big mint, but probably nowhere even close to that. Was Moonbirds at the start or around the bear market? It was just before.
It was in February. It was at the very, very end, I think. Yeah. But I'm gonna segue quickly here into the studio because we do have a special guest. Oh wait, he was just there to say, yeah, hell yeah, and he just joined us on the space. Before we go back to Claire and TwelveFold over here, if you're on the YouTube and on Spaces, actually, we are joined by Kieran Warwick, co-founder, CEO of Illuvium, who has quite the launch today, actually, because you're talking about launches, and that's on the other side of the spectrum for us, and it's in the gaming sphere. Kieran, good morning. How you doing?
Hello, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on such short notice. I think it's fun. It's a big day for you guys. When Mando told me, he was like, hey, like Kieran's got a game, we should just like get him up, to chat about it. It's pretty cool.
The avatars drop, right? I think it's
Yeah. So it's actually dipping our toe in the water for our first NFT collections based. It's still a game in that we have albums that you've got to go out and collect, and if you collect if you complete certain collections, it will unlock things in the game like skins and battle boards and emotes and stuff like that. But yeah, it's our first kind of simpler product where you can basically use it as your PFP if you want to, but there are billions of different combinations. The artwork is pretty insane, and we're super excited to be able to launch something in what we're calling a new space, basically.
I love how you call it new space. It's like so different for you guys, right? Like I think I've been reading your tweets after you came onto the show, and I know we've chatted a couple times too, but it's like, it's crazy how it's like different worlds. And we don't see a lot of stuff happening in your world. And I'm sure it's similar. And it's just so crazy.
It's crazy. And I've noticed that the frustrating thing for me is that this has been, it took me like 3 months to get people to actually inside like our game design team, my brothers and whatever, to get on board with this. And I was like, dude, I'm seeing this divergence where the Web3 gaming people, they're more patient. They're not trying to go for a flip straight away and stuff like that. And then you've got these other guys who are, right, like they're the traders who every single day they're looking, where's the next mint? How do I get in onto this whitelist? And we're not talking to them right now. We need to be able to do something to bridge that gap. And yeah, so this is 18 months of preparation to launch this product.
Wow, that's crazy. I like this tweet of yours. I think it's from it was a few days ago. You can't compete with three brothers possessing different skills, different expert skill sets. You may find a project with one, but none have all three. Yeah, I like this. So tell us more about this. This is an important launch for you guys and for the whole Illuvium ecosystem. And I'm seeing the comments here. I love that. Someone say, yeah, they're into ILV. I love to see that on your YouTube stream. And by the way, we are live on YouTube with Kieran here, so it's pinned at the top. If you're on Spaces and feel like getting a different experience of the Gm Web3 show, you can come see what we're sharing on screen. But talk to us more about this and how that like plays into you guys' ecosystem, because it looks like what I'm sharing here. There's 120,000. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So there's two types in this first wave one drop. So it's essentially 100,000 standard discs, and then there are 20,000 of the mega discs, and they're what we're calling alphas. So like a first edition, if you're thinking like Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering cards, these would be your like first edition prints. And then we go into the extended sale, which is still a standard disc and a mega disc, but you lose that alpha tag on them.
Look at that. You guys have so much happening. It's actually so cool. And so you're buying these you buy these in ETH, or do you have to buy these in LV?
So either or, right? You can buy them in ETH, or you can buy them in our in-game currency, which is SRLV2. Wow.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And so how are these going to come in to play with everything else you guys have been doing? Because when you were on the show last, you were talking about the game and everything that's going down. How does this come into play with like everything else?
So these are used as the whole idea is that we map it back to how many characters we have in game. So each wave we will release 25 new characters. And we've got in total, there's about 185 in set one. And the whole idea is you're trying to mint a PFP that you can use across the Illuvium universe. And secondly, we're looking at eventually turning this into its own trading card game. But right now, what you're trying to do is go to the album feature, and there's 500 different collections. So for example, you might have the water collection, right, where you're trying to get all of the Illuvitars that have the water element as their base, and collecting all of those. There might be 9 in the collection. If you do that, then you're going to unlock something in game. Maybe it's a water-based skin or whatever. But yeah, it's just meant to be this really exciting pack opening experience. The animation when you go and open a disc, it pops up the 5 different cards. I've got it up here.
You guys have an example? I'm going through your.
It reminds me of like Pokemon cards, or like there was a popular mint in this space called Renga where people used to live stream them like minting the black boxes. I think this
well, also like food, right? Like the FIFA, like you would rip a pack and then you get
of course,
different cards come up. I think this is what makes people fun. And plus, you guys have a massive ecosystem. How many people own your assets or part of the Illuvium ecosystem and what you guys have built?
So we've got 1.7, just over 1.8 million people that have registered.
Oh, what?
And we've had around about 250,000 that have registered for this specific drop. So I don't know, it's the first time, like if you look at those prices, we're talking about if you're not going for one of those first edition Illuvitar discs, then you're talking $8 and $40 to mint a pack. So it's not your typical 1 ETH mint or whatever where it's not very accessible. Because we have millions of people that are in our ecosystem, we needed to make it not so much like 5,000 of these and at a super high price, but tons of these that are available, but also limited by the fact that if you don't get in the first, if you don't buy in that first wave, then we go to wave 2 and then wave 3 and then wave 4. And so if you are trying to collect them all, it's a game that you need to be in, looking to buy, 3 or 4 packs a week, that type of thing. And if you get really lucky, if you show the first link that I sent you for it, then you'll see the
This one, right?
25 alluvials. It's
I think it's this link, right? Is it this
no,
one?
go to Illuvitars, explore wave 1. Should be the
there was 2 links. There you go. I see it.
Yeah, so these are the Illuvitars that you'll be, these are the base portraits
pretty
that
cool.
you'll be minting. So you got Atlas there. There's the ones with the
Ramfire is crazy. This one's cool.
So that Ramfire there, if you get that, it's pretty damn rare. It's about 1 in 7,000 chance of getting that out of a standard disc. But then on top of that, we've got holographic finishes as well. So you can get the holo versions.
I see. Yeah. No, I like the pipes. Of course. Gotta have the pipe. These are cool. Wow. How long has this been in the making? I feel like, did we talk about this last time you were on the show? I don't think
18 months. Like it's been a long time. Like I noticed that we weren't drawing in the crowd of like Bored Apes and Doodles and stuff like that. And I had my other brothers, they're like, what's going on? Like, are we not, as good at marketing? Yeah. And I'm like, dude, we need, and I just was like, okay, how about we build this product, which has turned into something that is way, way, way bigger than what it originally was. But it was just meant to be a profile photo where you have your Illuvitar and then those accessories down the bottom, they're what you bond to it and you personalize it, right? So you want it to be individualized to you. So if you like the pipe, then you're looking to open up a pack that has it, and then you bond that pipe to your Ramfire, and all of a sudden you've got a stupid version of what our typical IP is, but you're like, that's me. I like smoking pipes or whatever it might be.
That's funny. So you have 1.8 million people part of your ecosystem. There's gonna be 120K of those. That's gonna be, dude. Wow, that's gonna be a lot of people rocking this stuff. I love that, Mando. I know you've been following Kieran a bit. Do you have any questions on those Illuvitars? And are you gonna be getting your pack? That's the most.
Of course. This is the thing. It's crazy to me, the scale of this sort of stuff compared to our space. Like, I think that's why we wanted to have you on, because this is
small.
It's clearly one of the biggest things happening in NFT applications, and like it just kind of dwarfs what we look at on a daily basis. Like we're all. This is a prime example, I think, of everyone in NFTs looking one way and this huge thing happening somewhere else. So I think that's why we wanted to highlight it. But after the land drop, this does feel like the next move. And is there any more concept about when the actual game is going to come into development after this? Like, what are you hitting after this comes out? When are people going to be able to use these sort of assets?
Yeah, so we don't do, like, part of the reason why we didn't have as much hype as like some of the other games that were selling their in-game characters is we don't do that. So we want it to be this massive free-for-all once the game launches. So in Overworld, it's like Pokemon, where you go out and you have to capture them, right? Like you have to actually spend the time to go out and capture them. That you don't have the ability to just be a whale and buy the best characters, right? So that has meant that people that are just looking for something to buy, they haven't had that. But very soon we're going to have the whole universe launch, which is Illuvium 0, the mobile city builder, and then the Overworld, which is what I was just talking about, where you go through the 7 different regions and you collect these alluvials. And then finally, the arena, which is where you take your team that you've bought and collected, and you start battling people in a really competitive mode that's like League of Legends team fight tactics.
That's pretty sick. And so, just quickly before we move on, I want to ask you about those avatars. When is the mint exactly taking place, and how can someone who like heard you here can take part of it or even look more into it?
We're talking about in 5 hours and 45 minutes. So it's, it's happening
today.
Yeah. It is today.
5 p.m. Eastern.
Sorry?
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern. I think that translates to 10 p.m. UTC. For those of you in Australia, which I'm probably, there might be a few, it's at 9 a.m. So I'm planning on going right the way through, and then another 24 hours on the other end. That's how crazy this is, and that's how crazy I am.
You're a savage builder.
But yeah, man, it's going to be insane. I think, like, I'm so excited for the first time. Like, if we've done our jobs right with the marketing, we will get a brand new audience that's coming over into this space.
Dude, that is crazy. I was scrolling through your stuff during the show and before, and you guys partnered with like 50 different people. There's your tweet. Attention. Do you want a free Illuvitar discs? Don't comment below. Don't comment below. Go find one of the 50 partners and influencers doing giveaways. I'll come and find you. I love that. So you've definitely partnered with a lot of people. This is a big push and a big pull for you guys. I guess congratulations in advance. I'm sure it's gonna be a success. I mean, you guys are like just crushing it. It's super inspiring. Every time we talk to you, I feel like running through a wall. There's very few founders. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a few founders that make me feel like that. And it's like when you talk to Kieran, you're just like, fuck.
Mainly because we only speak to him at like 2 a.m. and he just feels like he's about to do another 12 hours of work.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But when he comes on here, I'm always like, oh, I gotta go harder.
What?
1.8 million people in his ecosystem.
But that's nothing. We want 50 million. There's 3 billion gamers out there around the world, and I don't want to be stuck in this little bubble of crypto. Like, if we were saying these numbers to a mainstream game that like a Fortnite or whatever, they're laughing their asses off. They're like, okay, keep grinding, kid. You know, you've got a long way to go. You say that to someone in Web3 and they're like, what the are you kidding me? Like, okay, so how the hell did you do that? So yeah, man, we're always pushing. I think it'll be really cool to get back on here and do a pack opening battle, or have you and Mando play it out. And I played Bryson the other day, and we gave $5,000 away to charity. I won the battle, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to
take that, Bryson. Yeah,
eat it, literally.
Check it to the chin. I mean, dude, I'm down. You tell me you wanna come on here and do a little thing where like we play together, we give money away, and we fucking
100%.
We open packs. Look, I'm not the biggest gamer. As a matter of fact, I'm not a gamer, but I'm down to try and do some live stuff on the show. Could always be fun. Mando, we can't hear you.
I said you're a gamer. You have a console, right? You're always playing FIFA.
Yeah, no, I love FIFA. I guess if that's considered being a gamer, I do play FIFA in my spare time.
It's not really, it doesn't really count, does it, as in the gaming?
Because like I feel like in here, especially in America, like because most of our audience think gaming is like, oh, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty,
No. In terms
League
of Legends is up there, but
Craft,
FIFA, Gran and I, my other brother, I reckon when we were living together, we broke about, I would say, 30 different controllers over a 3-year period, just because we got so competitive with that game. So if you play FIFA, you're a gamer, you're in. We accept.
Okay, perfect. I've been playing since FIFA 98. Okay, so I think PlayStation 1. And so I guess I count as a gamer, I guess. I do have the PS5 downstairs, but it feels good. FIFA's fun, but that's why I get the pack opening stuff, because my little brother used to always play Foot, which is like you had to buy packs and then trade your players and do all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. All right, well, Kieran, thank you so much for coming. congratulations, already for everything you've been doing. I'm super hyped every time you come on the show. And maybe, I don't know if you want to share with the audience, like, last thing, like where to pay attention and whatnot, but I'm assuming it's all on like the Illuvium socials and websites and whatnot.
Yeah, so we're going to do a 24-hour live. We're calling it a launch party, where as we go through this sale and we hit certain milestones, we'll be unlocking different group achievements, right? So it's all about everyone's total purchases. And then on top of that, you've got individual goals as well, where you get things like discounts on our merchandise store and some really, really cool things that I can't reveal them all because they're meant to be surprises. But if you want to get into the sale and get those alpha discs, which I think will sell out pretty damn quick, then just make sure you're there at 5 p.m. Eastern, and you can visit that on the Illuvitars. You will need, it's layer 2, so this will be a crazy concept to you, but you won't spend $1 on gas when you're buying these.
Hey, gas is cheap lately, but I know what you mean. I love that.
I've bought my fair share of NFTs that ended up costing me more gas than the actual fucking NFT.
You lost everything on the NFT too.
Yeah. But
what layer 2 is it on? Is it
IMX immutable?
Nice. Yeah. You guys are crushing it. So do I need to do anything before, like, or can I just pull up on this website and mint?
No. So you've got to essentially just get a IMX account. It takes 2 minutes. Fund it with however much you want to spend on the sale, just so you're ready, because I'm really expecting the alpha discs to go pretty damn quickly with that many. We've had like 1,500 people on our website every single hour that are like new people. It's like there's a lot of people that are sitting there waiting for this thing to drop. So make sure that you get prepared probably 20-30 minutes before the sale. But because I love you guys, I'm going to swing you a whole bunch of discs, whether you want to keep them for yourselves or if you want to give them away to the community. I don't know. I would keep them, but
we love giving shit away. We give a shit away on the show all the time. We'll give some to our YouTube streamers. There you go.
We can't keep anything. That's the rule of the show. We'll be giving them away.
We can put them in the Gem Web3 wallet, and then we can give some away to our participants on YouTube. We got quite some turnout this morning on YouTube, so YouTube chat deserves some. Make sure you subscribe. Let's do that.
100%. Get in there.
Yeah, I love that. Your community members are down here saying, join Discord for Illuvium. From Illuvium, we're happy to help everyone for the sale. And you guys have a huge community. So super exciting. I already made my Illuvium account, like I'm immutable account. It took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Just to connect. And then, yeah, there you go. Done. Like literally, by the time you were finished talking about, like, explaining, my account was set.
Hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. Blockchain tech is extremely complicated. It does not allow the mass onboarding of the people. It's very tough. It was very hard for me to set up my immutable account. I basically only click sign.
My customer service guy is going to be sitting there rolling in his grave after writing a 20-page how-to guide, and you just sat there and just went sign, and you're in. But
I love that.
It's not hard at all. No.
So we'll do that. So tomorrow on the show we'll have more details about the discs. We'll talk to Kieran in the back end after this to talk how we can sort out some discs. We'll give some away to our YouTube listeners. Make sure you start smashing the like button on YouTube. I see all 56 people live on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the Rug Radio YouTube. Look at that. I love seeing the YouTube turnout. And we got another about 400 people on here. So we're gonna try and be fair and give it to the people. Kieran Warwick, thank you so much for coming. Again, it's always an honor to chat with you, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. See you guys.
Thank you so much. Ciao.
See you, man. Bye.
Thanks, Kieran. Dude, this is dope. This is absolutely fire. Oh, let me help Kieran here. Boom. There you go. But that was fun. Mando, good call on that. Good call on that. Mando was like, yo.
If you don't have him on.
Whoa! Holy shit, bro.
Then we're just gonna hear about it tomorrow, right? We're just gonna hear about like millions of dollars of sales. We'll be like, tomorrow
yeah, is gonna be like, because if he sells out, if I'm not mistaken, there's 100K units here at 0.025 ETH. So, but because some people are gonna mint an ILV, but if he mints out here, that's 20. Oh, that's 100K units at 0.025 is 2,500 ETH. Okay, and then 20K units at It's 20K units at 0.124. So that's what? Another 25. So about 5,000 ETH sale. But that 1.8 million people, like people should go back and go look up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Rug Radio, Kieran Warwick, and listen to that show. Cause like Kieran knows what the fuck he's talking about. Let's just put it that way. He was one of our special guests, and I got to know more about him because of Mando, because Mando pulled that show last time. And that was inspiring. That was inspiring. Yeah, the chat is popping up today. So just to reset the spaces over here, we're live on Twitter. We're live on YouTube. Shout out to 60 people are live with us on YouTube. You know what to do. Smash the like button. Smash the comment button. Hit us with the GMs in the chat as usual. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Rug Radio YouTube channel. We are live here every single day. We do have a code coming today, rug.fm/rewards. Make sure that you're opted in if you're on a Rug Radio membership pass, Rug Radio Genesis NFT, or Rug Radio Core Value PFP. You can definitely opt in rug.fm/rewards and earn Rug token every single morning for listening to the show. As a matter of fact, I might have to put a thing that if we're going to put in our Rug store to exchange Rug token for Loeb appearances from Mando. Maybe we do something like that for the people of YouTube. They love it. Look at that. I love the people out here. Yo, shout out to you, opportunists. Shout out to Johnny. Shout out to BMass. Shout out to DC Davis. Shout out to everybody out there in the YouTube giving us some positive comments and whatnot. Love you guys. But anyways, do we want to quickly, I'm going to go to John Karp, Arthur, and Greta, who just joined us, talk about NFC Lisbon, all things Portugal going down out here as we partner with them. But quickly, Mando, two things definitely want to go over before I go on to our incredible guest. Like I said, packed show today. Whoops. Hold on. Almost changed my external camera. I wanted to present something on the screen here on the YT. I mean, let's talk about this for a minute. Claire Silver yesterday tweeted out, and I mean, boy, oh boy, did that tweet go viral. 500,000 views. You'd love to see that. She says, my new collection will premiere at the Louvre. My one-of-one Love in the Fourth Turning will exhibit at the Louvre. Both are with and thanks to Super Chief NFT. I've signed with WME as their first AI artist. We'll bring AI art to the mainstream culture together. Variety magazine link below. The homie, the sister, Claire Silver has gone full mainstream over here. Let's go. Trojan horsing AI art into the Louvre. God, I was excited to talk about it last night, but I didn't have all the energy, and I definitely have it to this morning on the Gm Web3 show. Boys, what do you make of this? Let me go to Ovi first, because Ovi hasn't spoken in 45 minutes, and he's the artist part of the squad over here. Ovi, dude, what do you make of this?
It's incredible. Like, if you were to say...
I can't.
Why did you get in the way of Ovi's lunch?
I'm so sorry, Ovi, to bother you.
It's just a snack. It's not a lunch.
I'm sorry to bother you mid-snack.
It's okay.
Yeah. What are your thoughts here on Claire Silver at the Louvre? Sorry, it gets me super excited because I'm so happy for her. You know.
Remember when we first started collecting art, and the first time something went to Christie's, everyone was like, "Wow, that's insane! It's amazing!" Like, and if you were to say, "Oh, a crypto artist who makes AI art is going to be at the Louvre," people would have just laughed at you. And so, like, what an incredible journey Claire has, and she's done amazing stuff for AI art. And I think, look, if you're out there and you're fading it, it's very difficult to continue to fade it. So, it's huge congratulations to her, because she's really is one of the OG crypto artists, and she's someone who's been around since I started in the space and since I can remember. So. She's very well deserving of it. I got the chance to meet her in New York last year as well. And she's very nice. So yeah, just huge congratulations.
Huge. I mean, this piece is gorgeous. This is one of my favorite pieces that Bad Soup owns. It's her self-portrait. It's called Claire. It's beautiful, and it's crazy because the piece that they're showcasing at the Louvre with Super Chief. And by the way, I messaged obviously Ed yesterday to congratulate him. Big congrats to Ed and the whole Super Chief team. I mean, these people are incredible. I remember we did a exhibit with Rug Radio in New York and NFT NYC last year. But it's incredible. I remember that piece looking at it because I think Super Chief and Claire had done something And now that piece is, it's not this one per se. I'm going to show you guys which one soon in a second, but it's really just incredible to see that that's happening. And I'm excited to see what other artists, of course, are perhaps going to be part of this, because it seems like there's going to be a couple more. But I'm super happy that it's Claire, and we were talking about AI. Mando, you're all over the AI stuff. I'm sure we're going to talk about it more and more on the show. But it's it's super cool, Mando. Let me go to you here quickly for some thoughts, because I think you put a tweet out about this and how this is like Trojan horsing AI art into Louvre. It's pretty big deal.
Yeah, so I think we should preface this slightly. I think when we had Van Arman on the show, he was also at the Louvre. Do you remember?
Yep.
So this is, I think, the Louvre is definitely embracing AI art as a new medium, and kind of hand in hand, and maybe cousins. Generative art and AI art feel like they are two new forms of artistic expression which are going to flourish in the new medium. And what I said about Trojan horsing is that these two forms of art are really backed by NFT technology. Like, majority of them are NFT artists, right? You do have AI artists that aren't NFT artists, and you do have generative artists which aren't AI artists, but they've really flourished on the blockchain. And what I said about Trojan horsing is that people aren't saying this is NFT art. They're saying it's AI art. They're saying it's generative art. And they're forgetting now that it's NFT art. So this is why I'm saying it's the Trojan horse, because the more and more these sort of artistic, themes are accepted, and you start to see this the beginning of an era of this form of art, the more and more NFTs will just seep into being at museums, being in collections, being more comfortable with a range of different high art buyers. So that's why I think it's a Trojan horse, because not once does it say here it's an NFT, right?
No, it's a digital creator here who has helped spearhead NFTs, though. Will show an biographical series of 100 post photography pieces. Wow.
The theme here isn't about the NFTs. The theme is AI art, and that's how it will be sold as a theme to lots and lots of people in the space. And then only after do you realize that NFTs are the medium now. They're starting to fall away as the actual thing itself. They're just a medium for different forms of art, and I think that's what the Trojan horse is here.
Yep. I'm such a fan. I mean, I've been a fan of Claire Silver since I entered the space. When I got my punk, one of my follow backs I really wanted was Claire Silver. Not gonna lie, and I got it. And I remember telling her that, and she's just such a kind person and such a hardworking woman. And it's just like, for her to get this dub today, and I mean yesterday, is just really cool. It's inspiring. There was this really cool comment by Noah, who same person really likes your earlobes, but said it took photography 2 decades to gain institutional respect. It took NFTs a year. Bullish. I think this is really cool. Especially in the day and age where, like, some people with AI, a lot of people are even telling some of the AI art not art or too easy, this and that. Claire is like literally there. I mean, she was on the show as a special guest about that, right? We had her, by the way, you can go back and listen again. It's Claire Silver, Ruggiero, Gm Web3 on Google or Spotify, whatever, can find it. We should definitely have her for a follow-up episode, but this is sick. I mean, wow, must definitely be a dream as an artist. It's really, really, really cool. But yeah, you're right. Pindar was there. It was last year. So I believe it's during Paris Blockchain Week, which is happening in a couple of weeks. Wish we could go, but definitely can't go back again to France, all the way back and forth when we were just there back in December, and just now, like a week ago. We definitely wish I could be there to see it in person, but this is a huge moment. And this is really cool. I don't know if Ovi, what about you, man? When Louvre, baby?
I mean, I would love to. I don't think I'm not exactly pioneering AI art like Claire Silver.
Claire is just
let's call a spade. They're just a bunch of wreck guys. Yeah. So.
But it's an example, right? Glitch art. If glitch art takes on as a theme, right, people will forget that it's NFT backed. They'll just be like, "Oh, this is really cool glitch art," and then only then will they realize that the medium again is NFTs. And I think that's going to be for a lot of different art.
I really do feel like this idea of Mando's going to hate me for saying this again, but this idea of like code to create art, whether it's generative art or AI art, I think, and with this whole AI buzz we're seeing right now, I think it's just going to be such a huge thing, and it really is an opportunity to collect some of this stuff. You know, like I think it's
what you collected recently is sick. You can say that. You know,
yeah,
not to say that you collected.
Enough group chats about it, honestly.
So Mando's like the one person who's basically in every single group chat I am. So when I go into my group chats, Mando's like, "Fuck, I've seen this message like for the 7th time now."
That's so funny. I mean, it is a cool piece you got by Orcan. We should showcase it tomorrow. But definitely, I love seeing the comment. By the way, like, look at this piece. Look at it for a second, just from the woman holding the canvas or mirror. Is it canvas, I guess? And then look at it from just the canvas, and then look at the third version is just the behind, the background. It is incredible. I mean, Claire's work is sick. It's crazy. I'm hearing about the LACMA. Actually, LACMA's coming on our show tomorrow, so that's gonna be sick. So we'll talk more museums tomorrow as well. So we have a banging week ahead. We told you guys that going into this week, but this is incredible. I'm loving the comments. Everyone's saying, "Agree, this is great for digital art and AI space. Bullish for all digital art. This is only the beginning, still early." I mean, we need things like that. And it's really exciting, and I think it's super cool. And then quickly, then I definitely want to go to our special guest today. Just one last thing. I mean, boys, pretty impressive. We can quickly talk about it tomorrow morning for a minute, but like TwelveFold ended up closing at $16.5 million. The Yuga Labs ordinals sold at a minimum of 2.25 Bitcoin, which is around 50 grand, in a pretty impressive ending. Yesterday, every single block, it just kept going up. I remember Mando and I were talking about it throughout, like thinking, yo, what's going on then? And then it closed at 225.01 was the cheapest bid in for the 288th. And then the top one is 7.11, which is about $160,000, thus busting expectations from most of the people that were talking about it yesterday. I thought it was minimum 1 Bitcoin. Wouldn't have thought 2 Bitcoin, $50,000. So I like to think this is a success on their front, showing that they can definitely do it. Last night on Gm Web3 was fun. We were joined by Udi, Trevor, ZK, the usual suspects of the Bitcoin Ordinal crew, the Bitcoin Ordinal mob. They came on the Morton Line show last night. Definitely invite you guys. If you're on YouTube already, you can just go on Rug Radio live, and it's there already on video. But it was super cool to be able to talk about that. But definitely wanted to mention that quickly. And I don't know if you guys had a quick word on it, and then I'm going to definitely move on to our guest that just joined us on Twitter Spaces.
No, I put out two I don't know, questions yesterday, which is one, is Bitcoin better for NFTs? I do think there will be a market here for fine art, potentially. There'll be a market for digital artifacts, which I think could be it could be on Bitcoin. Like you can't just like crap on Bitcoin for everything, but people will see that as a long-term chain. And then the other one I put out is Yuga Labs Spray Soft Too Thin. My point on that was, I think they've actually crushed this. They've crushed a bunch of different things. I was just speaking to Over this morning. I was like, right, we've got to go into the summoning next week. Like, can you imagine working at Yuga Labs right now?
I mean, no,
like,
but the thing is, there's a
they've got to go right to the summoning now. I'm just like, and then they've got to do the other. I'm just like, I'm stressed about what we are doing when we're putting. I'm just thinking, imagine you're at Yuga Labs and then they've just done this, and then they're going to go on to do something else. They are. It's not that they're not achieving everything. I just think it's incredible speed that they're working at. And look, I really, really hope they succeed. It does feel like they're crushing every single thing they touch at the moment, but it must be a crazy place to work.
But dude, there's 140 plus employees, bro. Like even Ella yesterday on the show confirmed, like he didn't even know this was gonna happen.
Exactly.
It was posted. So when it was posted, it's like, oh shit. Like that was his reaction. And then of course they use his beat because he works at Yuga to promote it when Figgy posted the art. But dude, it's just the thing is some companies are gonna get so big that you can't, like, there's gonna be a lot coming out of them, but different departments, right? Like there's the department that went and said the ordinals. There's probably department working on other sides, second trip, right? That Gargo was talking about with me in Paris. And then, you know, that's what someone replied actually, because I responded to your tweet. I said, no, I don't think so. And then this person responded, Nash, he says, Farouk knows you get growing 40 plus every time he links up at the next IRL. They probably hired another 2 people by the time you read this tweet. And so that's the thing I told Gargo, because every time
it's nuts how big they're going. Like,
more people.
Think about you work at Yuga Labs right now. You're building a full scale AAA game, right? Do you know how much, like, we just spoke to Kieran, right? Like the amount of effort it does to do something like that. You have CryptoPunks going to every single gallery they can try and get into, every single museum they can try and get into. We have Meebits that we're kind of unsure about what's happening. But all the Ape Fest, all the stuff that you have to keep the Bored Ape people happy, like it is crazy how much they're doing. And then they've got the Ordinals thing. They're crushing every single thing they touch at the moment. But it must be a crazy place to work. And I mean, when you spoke to Gaga, what was it like? Like, did you get the feeling that, because we didn't really get into that when we spoke to him, but it just must be insane, all the different things that are popping up. I think what we read between the lines is that this hire is going to be very, very big. And also Figgy's been a great addition to that management team, it seems like. So maybe it's become easier to manage with time, but it does seem like they're doing so much.
He's very confident every time. Like when I interviewed him, it was like just like more like us two on stage. And I was just like, it felt really home. Like I was just him and I know there was a crowd, but it was like I got to ask him a bunch of just direct questions, and I just felt like they were very confident in their game. Right? They're very focused. They're very focused on like this, like, you know, Daniel Allegre, the CEO, coming in. I think he's starting very soon, right? I mean, Consensus was speaking at their event, but like I think he's starting. It wasn't in Feb or March, like they were talking about. I forgot, but he seemed confident, dude. Like, and he seemed very confident about the second trip and everything they're doing. So, dude, that's not a team I'm betting against, that's for sure. But it's and it seems like no matter what, they keep on growing and doing it. It's inspiring, dude, because we're all founders, right? We all have our teams. You know, we have small teams. We're very small startups when you think about it, compared especially to like a giant like Yuga in our space. But I think it's like cool when you think about it. It all started with them fucking minting out $2 million worth of these monkey JPEGs for fun, like 2 years ago. Which the 2-year anniversary is coming soon, right? But like, and now it's like this gigantic thing, and like the TwelveFold. Like I was on Nick and Peel's show yesterday morning. I was on our show yesterday. Like a lot of people weren't sure about it, including you guys, including them. And in my head, I was like, damn, like, but these people are probably gonna blow people out of water again, and like. They did it, and you're like, just like, fuck. Like, now that doesn't mean anyone's too big to fail. I don't think anyone ever is. But, you know, I think, you know, they're doing good stuff. And then you tap on all the positive news coming in from people like Claire. And, you know, someone just said this morning's storm is making you want to go collect more art. I mean, Ovi is like, what is he buying now? Did he sold a bunch of stuff? He bought 2 Fidenzas. I know you're picking up that Orkin 101. You're buying some art. Like, there is a lot of life in the space.
This is a bullish morning for NFTs.
I'm excited today. I'm like, fucking, I could go.
16.5 million of NFTs on Bitcoin, which opens up a huge market for them. Yeah. You've got traditional art market, artists now showing stuff at the Louvre. You've got huge gaming mints happening today, right? And tomorrow.
What Kieran's got going on his end. It's
a lot. There is a lot going on, and being successful as well, which I think is important.
It's pretty cool. And what I think what people are starting to realize is that there's a lot of big things happening. It doesn't mean that everything's gonna go like into crazy prices. There's gonna be a lot of big things, big players, big like stuff happening, but it doesn't mean that everything pumps, every back pump, every NFT we have goes up. It's just but there's still a lot going on, right? So I think it's important for people to realize like the market is shifting towards more of a market like that, in my opinion, where there's gonna be a lot of great things happening. Doesn't mean there's a lot of like, you know, everything's up only like it's been before, or necessarily like the project that we are used to, like top that we see on the DGen's finance and that dashboard, but there's so much going on outside of that. But anyways, I'm going to transition here because I know we could talk about this for another hour. So maybe we talk about this tomorrow. I'll put it as question of the day for tomorrow or so. But we are joined on this stage by John Karp. Man, myth, legend, family. We have Greta, we have Arthur. What's up, fam? Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning. You know, I'm so excited. You know, I could hear you, you know, for hours. Actually, I should come every day. You know, I'm creating my Illuvium account, buying more AI art right now. I think I'm so bullish on everything you talked about. So it's crazy. So really happy to be with you guys. And wanted also to introduce you a part of the team, you know, because, you know, working, on the, you know, actually, you know, I was with you when you were in Paris at the NFT Factory. I think it was 10 days ago. And so I'm organizing the non-fungible conference, NFC Lisbon, happening in June 7 and 8 and 9 in Lisbon, Portugal. And we are like almost 20 people working on it, but I came with two peeps here from the team. Here is Arthur. Hey, Arthur, how are you?
Yo, guys, GM. How's everyone doing?
We're doing great. We're vibing. We're excited to go. I'm excited to go to Portugal. I mean, I cannot wait for NFC Lisbon, and I'm so hyped that the team posted yesterday the announcement on the Rugredo account. I'm gonna get that pinned, but that we've partnered up with Non-Fungible Conference, which was a banging conference last year. That I was told this is the place I need to be at this year as well. And when they were some people were telling me a few conferences, Mando, of course, we have a Portugal Maxi that we talk to all day. The same way Ovi talks to every chat about his new acquisition, Mando talks in every chat about how it's sunny in Portugal. Speaking of which, the code today for the reward program is, Mando, what do you think? Lisbon! Lisbon. That's the code today to earn your rug token. But John, talk to us. Greta, talk to us. Arthur, talk to us about what NFC Lisbon is and what's going down. Because from what I heard, you're also giving away a CryptoPunk.
It's true, actually. Yeah, we are launching. It's one of my CryptoPunks, actually, and yeah. And so it's called the Lost Wallet. I will share the link. You can follow the Lost Wallet. It's a massive treasure hunt we're doing in partnership with the Sandbox, Decentraland, Spatial, and much more. A lot of metaverses, actually. And the idea is like a big story where a Dejan has been killed, and he wants the community to find his lost wallet before an evil company. And so there is a full lore, a full story that you can follow on the Lost Wallet Twitter account. And I recommend you to follow that because it's pretty exciting. And of course, it's online, but you will have a physical step during the NFC at Lisbon. So this is one thing, but the event itself also is pretty crazy. You can imagine, you are in Lisbon in June in this big, massive park. It's basically like the Lisbon Central Park. And the event, is non-fungible. It's pretty unique. It's like a festival. You have this music stage outside. You have this internal immersive stage where big anonymous people like Cosimo de Medici, like Whale Shark, like Pac, will create their own creation, like 10-minute movies, and you can assist to their immersive show. And you can imagine actually that you have a lot of different ways of living an event. This is really the point of view we have. All the content that you have during the event is supposed to be level 2, I would say. Most of the people who come, they need to own a wallet. And it's part of the deal, basically. It's pretty, and it works pretty well because, last year we had almost 5,000 people who joined. And this year we believe we will have more people. And the idea, actually, we have this, for the Rug Radio people. If you own a Rug Radio NFT, a PFP, if you own also actually a Reg Guide and any other token, from the Rug Radio family, you can directly go to the website nonfungibleconference.com and mint your ticket with a 95% discount. So it means that you will get your ticket.
Wow, I did not get that memo. That is sick. Hold on. So if you own a Rug Radio NFT or a Rec Guy, is that what it is?
Exactly.
So 95% off. And by the way, just so you know, John, while you're saying this, I'm going through your website on YouTube and we're showing everyone on here the website. It is so well done. I mean, look at these flipping cards like that. I mean, look at this. Mando's bio. Look at that. It's co-founder Canary Labs, right? DJs. XHY Trader Barclays. Look at that chat right there. And Ovi, super artist, co-host of Rugged Recreator, XHY Trader Barclays as well. Look, I love these. These are fun. So run me through this again. It's in ticketing. Is that where people go to claim if they're a holder of ours?
Exactly. They just need to click on the ticket button. Like basically mint tickets. Mm-hmm. So get ticket, mint ticket, and then basically they will connect their wallet, and then there is this button where they check their eligibility.
I see.
And so we are checking because it's also a private sale. If you don't own a partner collection like Rug Radio, you cannot get a ticket. You have to wait until the public sale that will happen 1 month before the event. So it's pretty, this is the idea where, we really want to work with all the communities we like and bring the good people. And this is what people like last year, the vibe. You are in summer in Lisbon, in this park. We have 2 days happening in this big palazzo in the middle of the city that with a lot of art and really specific setup. And you have the day number 3 that it's a beach party organized with the Sandbox.
Oh,
this is the thing. It's a different time of year to last
beach
right?
party sponsored by Sandbox. That's great. I mean, talk about branding here. This is genius.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And and it's pretty fun, to talk with the Sandbox team about the sense culture that we need to create with them, to reproduce their stuff. So yeah, no, it's really, really fun. And actually, I really want to thank the Sandbox and Decentraland, Ledger, and all the sponsors, Collabland, and all the sponsors we are working with, because basically they are helping a lot, especially in bear market. We know it's not easy for them, to support, and they like the event and they're coming again. So it's really great, to have them.
I'm looking through I'm sharing right now. First of all, the ticket is made by Coldy.
The ticket is made by Coldy, exactly.
And Carlos Mars. Oh wow, that's the ticket, guys. It's pretty gangster.
Yeah, this ticket is an art piece. It's a real art piece. If you have 3D glasses, you can watch them because everything Coldy is doing is like 3D artwork, and actually it's for me it's a masterpiece. Even the ticket is a masterpiece.
I mean, Carlos Marcial too is sick art. Like, wow, this is really cool.
And this is their first collab. And, I was with them, they've been really working hard, to create this ticket because they like the event and they wanted to get deep into that.
Nice.
Last year, the ticket was done by Xcopy and Neurocolor. And it's a collector piece, actually. People are still trading this ticket. And so that's pretty cool.
It trades high, right? That's a high floor, that piece.
Wait, what's the name of the last ticket? I just want to show it on the screen. What is it called? NFC? Where do I find it? On OpenSea?
I will show you. On OpenSea, you can see it. It's non-fungible conference Genesis ticket. I'm sharing the link with you.
Non-fungible conference Genesis conference.
Exactly.
Genesis ticket. I'm going to try and find it. I got it. Is it this guy, right? Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
That's so fun. Look at that. That was last year's ticket.
Exactly. And people, actually, what is cool, what we did, so this ticket is really I love it, for me it's beautiful. But what is cool, and this is the kind of the thing we are doing. We like to create token-based experiences. For example, last year, all the ticketing was NFT-based. And when you own the ticket, all the people are airdropped, cocktails, a unique collection of cocktails, and they can claim their cocktail in the bar, of the event that are sponsor booths, basically. We try to create this kind of experiences, and we are really, that's make it, pretty unique. And this is what we want to do. We consider ourselves more as a Dejans festival, and with the idea of, celebrating, partying, having fun, and of course, having good content. And for us, it's really important, to have, good speakers, of course, but also have something, pretty unique. If you have just content that you can watch on YouTube, that's fine. But, the idea is to let people live something. This is why we have this huge immersive main stage where basically you will have shows, you will have live minting experience of generative art, you will have different art exhibition, pop-up exhibitions. The idea is to create something unique, to take risk and to experiment. And this is why, we feel like, it's going to be pretty exciting for this year.
That is really cool. I'm showcasing also last year's event on here. The comments are popping. Someone's asking 2 questions for you, John, that come from the crowd on YouTube. Freedseed asks, can NFC be attended virtually?
I believe it will be. I don't know.
Okay. No worry. It's in a while. I know there's time. We're in February, March. It's like in 2 months, but
yeah. It's in 3 months from now. Actually, last year we had a virtual edition of NFC. So, and actually it was pretty popular. So I'm pretty sure we may have also a virtual edition. At least, we'll have a live stream.
Okay.
But, to be honest, the best is to come. The best is to come and join, because it's really about living an experience. And, the space, we know, for us, IRL experience complete, the online experience. I'm really happy, to be with you guys in a Twitter space, and I love what you're doing, and it's great, and I'm doing this every day. But when you meet people in real, it's completing the experience, and it make it really fun.
Dude,
plus it's in June. This is the big thing. Like last time it was in March or April. like maybe early April, and it was cold. It rained, I think, during that period. And then now June, the beaches around Lisbon are nice. I don't want to shill Lisbon too much, but yeah, it's
I mean, what's different from every morning, right? So go ahead. Yeah. Just don't, please, like, don't post like these soups. You know, that's all. Like, or people are not gonna come. You know,
the everyday soup.
You know,
we can all have a bowl of that together.
We have Hefner in the chat that said, "I would like to buy a ticket, not going to Lisbon, but want the ticket for the culture." I love that. I mean, I'm a big fan. I mean, we're all big fans of Cody on this stage, I'm pretty sure, but it's just so cool. And John, I mean, you're quite the collector yourself. First of all, I love your energy. John has an incredible show, the NFT Morning, in French every single day. Very late for me because it's morning in Paris, but it's a great show for the French people out there. And in general, he's an incredible collector, legendary collector, and also creator and founder. And when we went to NFT Factory and hosted that Spaces live right by the bathroom, but which ended up being the best spaces I've ever hosted, in my opinion. It's NFT Factory. John Karp was one of the main founding members of that. So it's just so people understand on the stage, like John Karp really does a lot for the space. NFC, is an event that's last year was extremely successful. And of course, this year we're looking at where we want to take Rug Radio. And we've been talking a lot with Mando and OSF. We want to take the show global and worldwide and reach more people, meet more of our holders and following base, whether it's for Rec Guy, you know, DJs or Rug Radio. You know, this was an incredible opportunity that came forward for Rug Radio to partner with an event that is really good. And you know what I like? I actually genuinely, I'm not faking this. I genuinely didn't know it. I guess I didn't read it about the 95%. And it's super cool because when you connect, and I just tried on the video for people to see, the ticket comes down to being, I'm looking at now, 37 euros. So 0.025 ETH instead of 0.5, so 740 euros.
You've got to come.
I mean, yeah, we talk about event prices a lot on timeline, even us here and there when they're very costly. And 40 euros, I mean, fuck, for what is like not just an event. It's not one of those events where you sit down in those panels very slow like this. It's boring. It's going to be like one of those. It's like a festival in Portugal on the beach. Good times, good vibes, good people. And from what I'm seeing, some good speakers. I mean, you know, I'm not so sure about this guy called OVOSF. Yeah, this dude.
There are some random people also. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And you had to get the smaller people in, right? You know, but there is some really, really, really cool names, cool people on this, and it's really a lot of fun to be able to see that. Camila, our resident Portuguese expert. I mean, how do you feel about us coming into your home? We're gonna barge in there.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
I'm
queen.
super happy. It's gonna be wild. Finally show for Rogue that Portugal is amazing.
Hell yeah. Hell
and
yeah.
that the food and the wine are the best also.
I love that.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
It's gonna be great to get to know the Rug Radio team in Lisbon. And yeah, it's gonna in June, like what Mando was saying, it's gonna be super different than the last one because in April it was freezing actually. So now June, beach
you guys
parties
are weak
and
over there.
cocktails.
Yeah, it's freezing for Portugal, but maybe
Yeah, it was like 10 degrees.
You know, actually, we are able to do it in June thanks to NFT NYC because they changed their date from June to April, and at this moment we just use this
Well done. Well done. Well fucking done. Oh my god. Camila, I don't know if you had a question for the NFC team on stage.
Yeah, I had a question for John and Arthur. I wanted to ask if you are doing like any changes to the art exhibition rooms, or if they are going to be like 2022, and if you are going to have like any immersive art experiences, and also when will the artist applications open, or how are you going to like curate the artists that will exhibit there? What's your idea? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Camila. Actually, you know, we had the chance. Camila was exhibited last year also as a Portuguese artist selection, also in curation, and it was pretty cool. We are changing. We like to change things, Camila. So we will have a lot of galleries. We will have also a lot of pop-up live show in the immersive room, and we will open basically the call for artists next week. So we'll share that with you, and so all the artists will be able to apply. The idea is to have as much local artists first, but also new artists, exhibiting, because we have big artists already selected, and we want to diversify the selection, of course. So we will open, the call for artists next week.
Oh, let's go. Where, just quickly, John, where do people pay attention to that? Is that all on the NFC Twitter account?
Yeah, the best is to follow the Twitter accounts. So NFC Summit. From the Twitter account, you have also the link to the Discord and all the other things. But from Twitter, you can see it, for sure.
Okay, cool. Non-fungible conference, June 7 and 8 in Lisbon. NFC Summit is a Twitter. If you're on YouTube, make sure you check it out. If you're on Twitter Spaces, also make sure you check it out. If you're in Europe, this is a no-brainer, honestly. And make sure, if you're one of our holders, I know there's a lot of partner projects too, but obviously, if you're one of our holders within Rug Radio or DJ's the right guy, make sure you claim your tickets for 95% off, because it's a pretty good deal. And you guys in Europe are lucky, because traveling around Europe, that's pretty cheap. You get on the first easy jet or Ryanair, and here you are, and the next place for like $12. But Greta, I do want to go to you, also part of the NFC team. How you doing?
Yeah, hello. Nice to meet you guys. And hello, Farouk and our staff. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here. And my name is Krita. Krita means to draw in Korean. First of all, I would love to say, flowers to Claire. What happened to Louvre Louvre is the first art museum in the world right after the French history. So Claire taking over Louvre is very symbolic, and this is a really historical day as well. And I'm so excited about that. And I am a crypto art curator. My gallery is in Paris, called EM Gallery. And if you guys saw the 6 screens spread in NFT Paris, that was my baby. And this time I'm making a big immersive room in NFC, thanks to John, and I'm a creator of Flying Talks. So I would love to talk about this a little bit more details. So we have many speakers, which is undoxed speakers. They can't present in real life. So we are making a big immersive room with their talks. So we have Hekatao, Mr. Mizan, Cosmo Medici, Pascal Briard, Vasilius, and Park 6529, and workshops. So they will come and online or offline, they will talk about their story. And this is an immersive room first day. We're going to bring whole dramatic stories with Q&A. So I would love to shout out that. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
And Greta is pretty quiet, but she's also a legend. She's been pioneering the space in South Korea, actually, and
so sick.
And she's the job. What she's doing now. She's basically working with Cosmo, for example. She's been scripting a movie with them to compare the Renaissance and the digital Renaissance, and it will be the talk, and Cosmo will be in the room to answer the question in a live chat. And she's it's a crazy job that she's working on. So it's really, and she's doing that with Punk 65, with Cosmo. Some artists will do their own job on their side, like Pac, but it's something pretty unique. And so Greta, thank you for all of this.
Oh, I'm the team, and I'm so excited to work with our NFC team, because our conference is so balanced, like art and tech and community and companies and business and friends. Like if you come to Lisbon in summertime, you will just feel everything all together, so balanced. So I'm so excited to meet everyone here. Yeah, thank you.
This is so cool. I remember now seeing your exhibit. Sorry, I'm going through on YouTube. I'm sharing the screen to your Twitter account. So we're going through your photos and what you've posted from there. And I remember seeing the exhibit in the form of the Eiffel Tower there. It was pretty cool. Wow, that is awesome. John, I mean, you're stacked with legends. You're definitely stacked with legends. Pretty well surrounded, if you ask me. Wow.
Actually, I think John is the powerhouse. Around John, I mean, we really feel his energy. So it's really like our conference is more like really community values, like really brotherhood and friendship, because he's a powerhouse. So it's about NFT Factory as well. I'm also a co-founder, and everything is around the people. So that's how we feel a temperature there. Like we will feel warm anyway. So yeah, thank you.
I love that. This got good vibes this morning. I mean, come on. This Tuesday feels like almost like a Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And I'm also excited that about AI, as you say. Actually, I have also an AI legend that will come. It's not announced yet.
Oh.
It's I don't know if you know Robbie Barrat, Videodrome.
Ah oui.
The
But
Lost
the
Robbies.
boys own. You guys own.
Yeah, Lost Robbie.
Yes, Lost Robbie.
Exactly.
Talking about
So
it again today, oh, maybe you just better. That's the first piece of AI art on the chain. Like, is that the grail increasingly?
exactly.
I mean, yeah. Oh, so wait,
First
he's
artist
coming?
still on super rare. So yeah, he never came. He stopped NFTs in 2020 when everybody was started speculating on Lost Robbies and when he was selling pieces at $1 million basically. And so he never came back to any NFT event. And so he's coming to Lisbon. Yeah, he's coming to Lisbon. I'm really, really excited to share that with you also. And to basically for an interview on stage to explain basically why he left NFTs.
God damn.
He's gonna love us, isn't he?
Here's the one from Ovid Mando. It looks like
Yeah, should we buy another one? Just
a nice slab of ham right there, dry age, 18 months. But that is that's actually insane that Robbie Barrett is gonna be at that event. I mean, hold on.
It was in Paris. Remember, you weren't there actually, but George, I think, when he was on stage, was talking about it and said he did like a drop. It was in real life prints, I think. But yeah, he's still going. He's very young, so he's like 20 years old.
Yeah, when he started, he was in 2018 he was 18 basically. So now I think he's 23, I guess, or something like this. But yeah, he's still studying fine art actually, and yeah, when he started, he's basically an AI legend. When he was 18, at the same moment that Claire Shiver, he created a lot of crazy things, for AI, and he's been pioneering the AI space basically.
And that means that's someone that we need to get on our list of dream list of hit list to get on the show, because that is so cool. Hopefully we'll be able to get him there. I mean, we'll have our own Rug Radio. You'll hear more. I mean, we'll have the NFC Lisbon team on Gm Web3 again before NFC. But I know that we get a lot of positive feedback every time we're at a live event. People love seeing the live shows, and we have a lot of fun doing it ourselves. So I can't wait. If you're a Rug Radio, Reg Guy, if you're a fan, definitely if you're a daily listener and you're around there, definitely come see us, because we're gonna have our own little thing going on over there. So I'm excited already. God, can June come faster now? We're just, what are we, March 7th? It's an exact Mars, Avril, Mai, Juin. Putain, 3 months.
Rushing to come to Portugal.
Pardon? Yeah, exactly, Camilla. I'm rushing to come to Portugal. What's up, Greta?
Oh yeah, I mean, we also have amazing side events, which is summer in Lisbon. So we're gonna have on the beach side event, or everything related to the season. So please come.
I'm gonna bring my coolest bathing suits for Portugal. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I guess so. If ladies and gentlemen, I mean, if you want to check it out, definitely nonfungibleconference.com is their website. At NFC Summit is the Twitter. I mean, you'll hear more of John Karp, Greta, and Arthur on Gm Web3, of course, before the event actually takes place. But if you're the type of people, unlike me, that likes to plan their year and events ahead of time, I think it's a good call that you guys came in 3 months ago. I tend to forget that people need to plan ahead, because I plan 3 to 5 days ahead, and it usually ends up being a really bad idea. Not gonna lie. But anyways, John, Arthur, Greta, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for the opportunity to partner with Rug Radio. I think it's something super fun, and I'm glad we made it happen, John.
No, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be there, and congrats for the show again. I think we need to say that to you, because it's awesome what you guys are doing. It's I'm really impressed. Every time I listen to the show. So thank you very much, and I feel like I feel really pumped, after all the good news, you announced today.
Yeah, it's a good news day, and I have a feeling tomorrow is going to be the same thing. But anyways, with that, it is 12:07 out here in Montreal, Canada. Big shout out to Kieran Warwick, CEO and co-founder of Illuvium, who came on to talk about his Illuvitars are dropping later today. We're going to have a bunch, I guess, to give away to the show. So it's super cool. I'm going to talk to Kieran after, see how we can plan that out to give him to the people. Big shout, of course, to John Karp, to Arthur, to Greta for coming to and talk about NFC Summit in Lisbon, June 7th and 8th, 2023. So this year. And as usual, Big shout out to Seth and Mando. Ovi, quick question. The Rex Cities thing, that's not tomorrow, right? So we can talk about it tomorrow?
It's on Thursday.
Okay, so we can talk about it tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah,
I thought I missed out. I was like, holy fuck, that's bad. Cool. One thing, though, we're going to have to talk tomorrow about you making us claim for RLD. I want to complain in public. And then I also want to complain about the fact that I have to move my cities back into Nifty Gateway, as a hodler of every city you have. So I want to complain about those two things tomorrow.
A Lobes drop coming tomorrow. 100,000 Lobes.
2,000 Lobes. Yeah. Oh, is it really a Lobes drop? Someone actually did it. No, I'm kidding. But no, I'm kidding. Tomorrow we'll talk about what Ovi's got coming up because I know a few people mentioned it about the Rex Cities. Always excited, of course, for everything Ovi's got in the works. And tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, we do have someone. We probably do. But anyways, with that, we'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for another episode of Gm Web3 on Rock Radio. Let's go.
It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. GM on this beautiful day. Good morning to Web3 with Barocco, Sep, and Mando. Tuning live at 10:30, and it's all on Rock Radio. It's a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. GM Rock Radio.
And broadcast and